The outer shell of the creatures was solid metal of the appropriate type.
Why they're worth so much? Finally got rid of those things. What are we left with?
I think it's basically just the gems.
And Hobgoblin. We got a leather scroll case with a star chart that needs to be cleaned. Magic item,
No, we
magic
don't.
item, magic item, magic item, magic item.
We decided to leave the scroll cases alone.
Yeah, I know.
But
It was a different type of scroll case, I think.
Yeah, it was a leather scroll case with a star chart that needs to be cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're not different. We're just going to the next thing.
Okay, so we have what do we want to do with the
broken rainbow shell? Is really the only thing left on that list that we might sell.
Well, that's something for Higgimus because he wanted that, and he should find out whether they are good for anything.
Last up,
yeah, he gets some armor to see if he can get armor made out of it or something.
So we have all these weapons that we picked up, these non-magical weapons.
Yeah, we can sell armor too, I guess.
Hang on. One thing I was wondering that I've said in between games is if we have a barrel of weapons on the ship.
I would like them to be hanging up, though.
Four times when people
for the crew.
Hang on, I'm still talking. 4 times when someone loses their sword or it breaks, or the people working with us, people could just pick up a weapon and carry on fighting.
That might not be a bad idea, though. We should sell the dwarven mail because none of us is ever going to use it, unless we plan on having dwarves on the ship.
Yeah, the bucket is for when the Lafdul curse hits.
You mean Yeldin curse? I don't think Lafdul's broken any weapons.
Yeah, I was a little bit like, what? As I was laughing, I was like, hey.
Yeah, I mix up the names like everybody else does.
Okay, so sell the
dwarven mail.
The mail stuff. And then how about the shields? Do we want to keep the shields?
Any of them magical? Did we know?
No, these are all non-magical.
These are magical.
All these items.
They are.
We still have a magical gold dagger that we haven't used.
Yeah, I want that.
Did you get your dagger proficiency now?
No, but when I do, I will be taking daggers. Because eventually I want to be dual wielding short sword and dagger.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to sell the mail, you can get 15 gold each.
So that's dealt with.
Should I write the dagger on my sheet then?
Yes.
Because also could be possibly useful for leather if it turns out it might be a mage dagger. We don't know, so.
All right, you're writing that on your character sheet right now?
Where I'm going to write it on. What is it? Just
magical dagger, gold hilt.
All right. Yep, wrote it.
And then the dwarf mail we sold.
Okay, so we want to keep the hand axes, the battle axes.
Actually, I don't know. Well, Higgimus isn't proficient in that, so but still,
hand axe is useful to have.
Yeah, okay.
Hand axes can also be used as a throwing weapon.
We have these warhammers, regular warhammers.
Yeah, we're gonna
like those two.
Yeah, you got 5 dwarven daggers too, so if you want throwing daggers to throw as well.
Okay.
That's another proficiency.
We should probably all have a dagger each.
Yeah.
Anyone who hasn't got a dagger should probably just take one of those daggers.
Mm-hmm.
We also have this magical warhammer. Magical warhammer.
What actually happened? He just went to use it and it flew out of his hand, or what?
He fumbled.
He
critical fumbled.
And it just went flying?
Yeah, he dropped it. He critical fumbled.
I thought it went across the room.
It did. Well, yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
tripped
did.
and fell, and it went
Oh.
flying out of his hand.
Can Braxton have one of those dwarven daggers?
Yeah.
I don't plan on taking a dwarven dagger.
Well, I'm just
You got-
thinking he needs a backup weapon.
Yep, go for it.
You might be in a situation where you can't use a long reach weapon
Exactly.
if you're in a
that's what I was-
grappling fight.
Okay, so we'll hang on to that stuff there. The warhammers, the battle axes, the hand axes, the crossbows. The shields will be just spare weapons that we have on the ship.
Yeah, I did take that.
But we have this magical warhammer. Is anybody going to be able to use that?
I don't know if anybody's proficient in Warhammer.
I'm not proficient in it. I could use it, but
Remember
not
that
exactly.
warriors take the warriors have a smaller non-proficient penalty.
Yeah.
And Braxton, I think, is the only one who doesn't have a magic weapon. Well,
You should
other
take
than
that,
me.
Braxton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You guys
okay.
maybe take the mace. You should take that.
It didn't work for Argoth. Maybe it's just cursed for dwarves.
Okay.
Warhammer. All right. Hang on, before you delete it, what's it called?
Just put
That's
totally not cursed.
Nice magical Warhammer runic inscription.
Yeah, it said something on it that someone said
Yeah,
what it said.
Urgoth did say what it said, but
Age's
House on the sword.
burden.
Sorry?
Age's burden.
Age's burden.
it's probably the name of the weapon.
Probably a throne. Actually, no.
Warhammers really shouldn't be throwable.
It's
I read a whole book where the guy threw his warhammer around all the time.
Yeah, but if you, I mean,
it's a magic Warhammer that was designed to be thrown because it reappears in his goddamn hand.
there's a, I mean, if you look at an actual historical Warhammer, they
Things are huge.
have very small heads, long hafts. A throwing hammer is much more of the size and shape of like an actual claw hammer.
Yeah, well, I was just saying that in that case, that Warhammer had a magic ability
Yeah,
that
yeah, we know,
allowed
we know.
it to happen, basically.
Right, so
This isn't a throwing one anyway, so as far as we can tell.
yeah,
it's a
as far as we
dwarven
can
dagger,
tell.
just a normal dagger.
Yeah.
Right, hang on, let's see if we can find it.
What's the weight of a dagger? I'm sure I had it. I can't
Like
remember
one or
where I
two.
put it
Probably one.
though. Short sword's 3, so
Yeah, so it's I'm
dagger
sure it's one.
quickness is 1. So actually, does
Yeah,
my
it's 1.
magical dagger not weigh less? Than...
No, weapons do not weigh less when they're magical. They're better balanced, which
The only time is the way less is if they're made out of material that's lighter than normal.
Mithril.
Yeah, Mithril's a good example.
and most of the time that doesn't matter. I mean, most of the time that only matters with bludgeoning
Blunt.
weapons and armor.
Impact.
Well, just because those are more heavy. I mean, you know, like a longsword that weighs 10, 20, 30% less, it's still going to weigh, I mean, it only weighs 4 pounds to begin with. So it's not really anything to be...
It only goes
worth
down one weight category if it's 25% less.
There aren't weight categories. Anything else you guys want to work on?
See, I think that's all of like the item stuff we have that's not magical
Okay.
Yeah.
that needs to be sold. Oh no, that's a lie.
Gems.
Taking Lafdul with me to the gym merchant.
You don't want to go to the Thieves Guild. Just point it out. You would have to give me the gems, and I kind of sort it out. You don't know what I do.
Well, I mean, so if you wanna handle the uncut gems first, which basically means going to the well, I mean, you have a choice. You either go to a gem merchant to get them cut, and then you pay him to cut them, and then you go sell them,
Yeah, that's what I have been doing. I did one to one, the other
Or-
to the other. So.
or the reverse, where you get the Thieves Guild to cut them, and then you go sell them to a merchant.
Yeah, I wasn't getting that till next level.
Right. Well,
do
you want to save them until that point then?
How much gold? Have we got plenty of gold? Do we need gold?
No, we don't.
Well, you don't know
Alright,
how
we
much.
keep
You
them on.
haven't. I was hoping to get to that, the outfitting the ship, but that
Yeah.
it's
How
taking
much-
longer to sell all this stuff.
We got
But
over
if you want to
2,000
hold
gold
on to the
pieces right
uncut,
now.
if you want to hold on to the uncut gems, you can certainly do so. I mean, it's a small portion of the total gems that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep on the uncut ones.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the cut gems, I'm going to need you guys to ask me for the specific types because I have them written in different places.
Real quick, is there any of these gems that somebody wants to hold on to for like because they're pretty or
Spellcasting
something?
purposes. Or spellcasting purposes.
Not
Yeah, what's that?
yet. for
What's
me.
that? What does that appraisal spell use?
I
Not
need,
That's just to say how
Yeah,
many
Leva
of them
needs
are
one.
there.
I know.
The identify spell uses pearls.
yes,
sorry.
but there's another spell that uses a
A
clear
chromatic orb, wasn't
a
it?
clear gem of undefined what do you call it, property. It just needs to be clear.
Okay, and that's right. Chromatic orb does, but I don't think I don't think you have chromatic orb.
I don't.
Yeah.
Xanthia had it. Let me have a quick look.
Stanfield's dead to us.
When you say clear, do you mean see-through or like white, transparent? I don't know,
I
window
have no
clear.
idea.
Untinted, transparent.
So, pink,
Quartz,
purple,
rock
burgundy,
crystal,
red,
that sort of thing.
blue.
Yeah, no, all of our stuff has got colors to it.
Yeah, none of ours are good.
Yep.
Here we go. Magic actually has clear crystal or mineral prism.
Yeah, you need to
none
buy
of these
that.
are clear though.
And when it says clear crystal, it means an uncut crystal.
Yep.
So
And what's
most of these
prism?
are cut.
And we don't, and the prism is like quartz crystal, right?
Well, and it's a specific shape, so none of these would fit for that.
All right.
Oh, let me have a look. What do I need for the familiar, for find familiar spell?
1,000 gold pieces worth of incense.
Wow.
That's expensive.
Well, it is expensive because it's a very good spell and you only cast it once. Hopefully.
1,000 GP worth of incense and herb.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
What if it dies?
1,000 gold piece each, or is it 1,000 gold piece split amongst incense and herbs?
it's just you just pay 1,000 gold pieces and get the
Okay.
proper incense and herbs.
That seems to be it. What else? Identify needs pearl.
So I wrote a whole spell book for mine. I gotta do for level 2 spells as well.
I think that's it for the moment.
Okay.
Do we want to sell the gems? Because we're kind of holding on to a lot of coin.
Well, we're going to be splitting it amongst the party, so.
After we finish outfitting the ship, we still gotta buy that ballista and ammo for said ballista.
And you'll need like star charts. You will probably want star charts, various equipment,
navigator
food,
as well.
water, provisions, stuff like that. And then,
So
of
we
course,
should
paying
sell
for the crew.
gem.
Yeah, I'm not against it. I'm just saying what I thought.
Yeah, the other thing is that gems are more portable for if we need.
Yeah, I know that.
things else.
If we think we can use up all the value of the gems worth in gold, then obviously sell them.
Well, all right. Let me put it this way: how much gold do you have right now? In the
2,800.
Is that total, including converted, like?
No, that's
No.
just the gold pieces.
Oh, yeah. We got about, and I guess maybe 400 gold. 4,000, I mean. Maybe less.
Okay.
Well, with over 100
I'm guessing.
platinum.
Because you're looking at 800 gold for the large ballista. Assuming that that's what you want on it.
Platinum.
You're looking at multiple hundreds of gold for food and water for an extended period of time. And then
5 gold.
you're also looking, I mean, it depends on how much you, what type of sailors you want, but, Yeldin, can you not talk while I'm trying to talk, please? Thank you. It's a lot more expensive to hire sailors here on Brawl, and you pay them 2 months in advance. And it depends on the type you want, but to fully outfit the ship, you're probably looking at 100 to 200 gold per month.
I still think we need to cash in the gems.
Yeah,
That's cool,
that's fine. When we hand in, well, so to speak, hand in the break, we would have converted to gold, so into platinum.
All right, what gems do you want to sell first?
Let's go for the bottom up. So,
8 sapphires.
Yeah, the sapphires, blue sapphires, 8 of them.
You didn't say what cut they were, though.
I generally won't mention what cut unless I think it's really appropriate. I mean, for one thing, how many of the cuts do you guys actually know by heart? Would you not have to Google? I have a list, but
flawless.
All right.
Squared.
So you can sell the sapphires for 500 gold pieces each.
How about we sell half of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely don't need to sell all of them. What's everything else selling for?
Well, that's probably the most valuable.
Yeah. Let's start from the bottom here. Pale blue floor spar.
If you don't want to sell them all, then make a note of which ones you're selling and then put the appropriate amount of gold in.
I guess I'm just going to write down how much they are worth right now.
Yeah, find out how much they're all worth.
For that, I'm going to say that you have to sell at least one of them.
Okay. So one of each. It's no big deal.
Do you want to go for the garnets next?
Yeah, let's do the garnets.
Yeah, sure. We'll go from the bottom up.
All right, those will go for 400 gold pieces each.
Oh.
Really?
They're large. Flawless. Very nice. They bumped up value.
Question? We have purple gems here, and we have purple amethyst here. Can we recognize the purple gems that are still unidentified as purple amethyst?
Yeah.
Okay. But that one's uncut, so.
Oh, I mean, if you're talking about the uncut ones, that might be different.
Okay.
Just same gem, different cut, maybe.
Well, if they're the gems are the same between the horde that the Deep Spawn had and that room, because they basically all came from the same source. The uncut
She's
ones
talking about
might
the ones from up above, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The uncut ones might be different. Ignore the uncut ones.
All right.
Okay.
Because uncut ones sell for crap unless they're cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Literally 10%.
So. Wow.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, that's why I want to take gem cutting when I can.
Purple amethyst.
Those go for 50 gold pieces each.
Yeah, amethyst is not worth that much.
50 gold pieces
Okay.
each is pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold.
It's pretty good for amethyst, to be honest.
They're very common, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, next.
The Carbon cut.
Cabicon
Rose
cut
quartz.
Star Rose Quartz sell for 25 gold each.
Okay.
And the fluorspar sell for 13 gold pieces each.
Yeah, they're not worth all that much.
Got a lot of them now.
You gotta take. So we got 19 fluorspar left.
See, if we didn't clear out that spore room, we would have left, like, what, 600, 700 guilds worth in there?
We
Maybe
would have
more?
left 1,000 gold in there at least because there was 2 more sapphires.
Yep.
Yep.
I think there were 2 garnets as well.
Yeah.
It's my
that was a
rogue.
lot.
Hang on, how much XP am I going to give my rogue level? Because it's based on guild found, isn't it? Or is it personal guild found?
It's based on personal gold acquired through use of your thieving skills.
And then unidentified.
So, for example, the 20
The
gold piece
change-
reward that you get for picking that lock, you'll get experience for that 20 gold pieces on top of picking the lock.
No, it's just one about this dungeon link that we just got. I didn't really do any thieving.
Yeah,
stuff
and like back on the cuddle command, you didn't get any experience for that gold because you failed to pick the lock.
Wow.
I don't even get 1.
Nope.
1 XP.
Nope.
The attempt.
I believe it had to be like broken open.
How do you
Yeah,
get
with-
value?
With Higgimus's head.
But you are not supposed to do the editing in there. That's
I was just changing one of the headers to value rather than who. Makes more sense. There we go.
I would actually suggest while Higgimus is doing changes in there, that everybody else keeps their fingers off the keyboard.
No, I'm just browsing it. I'm just looking where he's editing. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
I am
haven't
up
touched
there.
anything.
See me. CP.
Mhm.
All right. Do you want to spend a little bit of time getting the figuring out what's on those scrolls? We can just fold that into because basically at this point, I figure that we're going to let time pass until the ship's ready. With everyone doing what they want to do, either going out and getting a small job, doing spell research, whatever.
I guess Ockar will be helping at his father's armory shop.
All right. Well, hold on. We'll get to that in a second. I just wanted to make sure that was good with everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can spend some time figuring out what the scrolls have on them. Basically, just Levin memorizes read magic one day and checks it. Doing so, she finds that only one of the scrolls has a wizard spell on it.
Okay.
And that is protection from evil.
Okay. Just a moment.
So when you summon the Nabasu, you might want to have that spell ready.
It could help.
Higgimus, do you want me to write that?
Yeah.
Or-
I figured you'd just take it.
Yeah, just take that.
Yeah.
Just take it out of the
Yeah,
inventory, out of the party inventory.
Is that the only spell on it?
That's the only spell. It's a scroll with just one spell. Yes.
Only wizard spell. Are the other 4? Are the other 3?
There was
spells?
a total of 4 scrolls.
Protection
Well,
from evil.
Lafdul, do you want to look at these other 3?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Lafdul, you find a priest on one of those. There's one spell. Animate statue.
Animate statue.
I'd like to take one more scroll case.
I think that the bone scroll case is the only other scroll case available.
That's fine. I've got 2. She's got 2.
The second scroll has the spells Iron Vigil, Continual Light.
That's a good one.
That is a really good one.
And Blade Barrier.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's only a 6th level spell. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Fifth level,
Continual
sixth
Light's
level.
also,
6th level.
Continual Light's also a really good one too, because you can have basically that thing's lit forever.
Yeah, I got 4 spells there then. Animate, statue, Iron Vigil, Continual Light, Blade Barrier.
They're different physical scrolls.
Oh. One of them had 2 spells on.
Well, one has 1 spell. Animate statue.
Mhm.
That's its own separate sheet of paper. And then the second one has the 3 spells: Iron Vigil, Continual Light, and Blade Barrier.
Oh god,
That's a
that
good
has
one.
3 spells. There's still one more.
And the third scroll has the spells Banish, Flame, and Dictate.
Banish, Flame, and...
I don't know what those 2 are.
Well, the first one might be good for the Phlogiston. If I can read in time, which I doubt. But yeah. I got a lot of spell skills, my god. Yeah. Yeah, I got
Might
5
need to get
scrolls.
Scroll skates.
Yeah, gonna have to...
That's what the dice dictated.
That's a
I
hell
don't
of a lucky
even
find.
know what half these spells do.
Yeah, you'll have to look them up.
Yeah. I'm gonna put that one.
So do we want to call it a session here and figure out what you guys are going to spend the time on next time? Get the ship all...
Sounds good.
I want to ask real quick for the group. How much of the stuff that we found do you want to put into the kitty, and then how much of it do we want to split up to all of us as a dividend?
I think we should first look at outfitting the ship first.
I agree.
Mhm.
Then we split it up.
Okay, I mean
Yeah,
we can
ship.
get this we can get that taken care of pretty quickly right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody else has if we want to get something else, but I think we should just stick with what the ship normally has: heavy ballista.
That sounds good.
It's
Better than the catapult.
Whoever the guy's going to
I
be
can actually
using
use a
it.
ballista too, so.
Well, that's catapults are generally better than ballista, but Higgimus has proficiency with ballista.
Yeah.
What about the bows or crossbows at the on the sides of the ship?
Well, I got 3.
To a certain extent, you can take care of that later. I mean, some of that can be come out of personal funds or something like that, or
Okay.
later collections, or you could keep the gems as non-divided treasure and sell those as needed or something like that. But
Yeah.
if you want to get the heavy ballista, that'll be 800 gold pieces.
How much is it for each ammo shot?
I'll get to that in a second. If you want, right now the I believe
before
it's...
we order the ballista, how much of a turning circle do we get if it's not mounted on a turret?
I believe it's forward, port, starboard. Let me double check that. Now, there are magical heavy weapons available.
Okay.
For a lot more.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not sure that you could... I'm not even positive that you can afford it. But
we're level 1 ship, so to speak.
The only thing I'm concerned about right now is if the weapon's not got 360-degree spin, and we can spend a little bit more money to make it so that we can shoot backwards and forwards, it will be more versatile in combat.
I agree.
let me get something up real fast.
Could we do that on a ballista though? Because
you can buy a turret. You can buy a turret.
No, I'm thinking about the actual physical projectile. It'll be going straight through the ship, wouldn't it?
No, because
or is it flat?
There's a height where the ballista goes is higher than the rest of the ship.
Alright.
Except for maybe the wings. So you might have to worry about accidentally shooting through the wings.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Essentially, it's a big crossbow.
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me.
Yeah, I know what that ballista is.
I'll give you an idea of what the fire arcs are. Of course, I gotta upload it twice because I goofed. Okay, so you can you should be able to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the ballista, as standard, has forward, port, starboard firing arc. So it can fire in any of those hexes. So any hex except for those in the aft quadrant.
That is
So
pretty damn
we can't
good.
fire behind us.
Right. If you want to be able to fire 360 degrees, you can purchase a turret for 1,000 gold.
Hmm.
I don't think that's worth it.
It has pretty good range already.
I think a turret's worth it.
I don't know about that.
If we're running away, we can only ever shoot behind.
Can we fly backwards?
You can, but not as fast as you fly forwards.
Also, like, if we're running away, the ballista is probably not going to stop their ship from being able to chase us. Generally, I would think.
Well, rear-facing weapons are called stingers, because you shoot someone who's chasing you. So
I got a question. I don't know. Can the ship mount another weapon that maybe not nearly as powerful as a heavy ballista, but then another weapon that's rear facing?
If you sacrifice cargo space, or if you trade down to smaller weapons.
I'm inclined to leave that up to Higgimus actually, because he might be the one who is who'll operate those weapons.
Yeah.
Well,
If you think it's worth it.
I mean, like with combat stuff. I mean, like.
Think of it as our combat specialist.
We don't necessarily have to be running away though. But I'm looking at like the port and starboard angles, and if you do it right, you can fly around kind of. If we're moving faster than they are, and the likelihood that we'll be able to run away is very slim.
What do you think, Higgimus?
It's just a lot of gold for a turret.
Yeah.
well, if you have two weapons and they've got that firing arc, you could have one as a stinger, one as a forward weapon, and they'd both be able to shoot to the sides.
And
Doing a broadside attack, basically.
Who is going to operate those weapons?
Yeah, we only have really one person that we know we can reliably rely on to operate the ballista.
Well, you're gonna have crew too.
Yeah. We're hiring.
Yeah.
And you could hire another weapon specialist.
Okay.
That would be a bit expensive, but yes, we could.
Better than dying.
So what do you think, Higgimus?
I don't really know if it's worth 1,000 gold, because like a lot of times what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be boarding them anyway. The weapons is to kind of maybe soften a couple targets up first, or maybe to combat like something large like that serpent thing we fought before.
Could it be retrofitted?
Yeah, I mean you can buy a turret later and get it added in.
But I mean, most of the time you're not wanting to destroy the ship you're going after. You're going to want to board it. Because if you destroy it, you're not going to be able to grab all their junk.
I'm just thinking a stinger weapon might be useful if we're being chased by someone we don't want to board us. Then we can be shooting at them, at every opportunity while they're catching us up.
What about a ram?
There's no ram on the. You could get a ram, but given that the Wasp is not designed for it, it may not be as functional.
I have this idea: if we did get one, we would just break our own ship against the enemy.
Rams cost 100 gold piece per ton of the ship, so that would be 1,800.
Yeah, no.
No.
I think we just get the ballista and ammo for now, and then we upgrade it later.
Well, we can't skip having a weapon. We've we've got to have a weapon.
Well, no,
Yeah,
he's
we'll
talking
have
about
a-
if
We
you
don't have-
guys. He's talking about if you guys decide later to get the turret.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Oh, can we get
What do you
like
get?
a backfiring weapon to go with it? How much more expensive would
We'd
that
have to
be?
degrade it.
Well,
The problem is we'll lose cargo space if we get a backfiring weapon. Is what
True.
I'll say.
well, right,
True.
but
I think Old said we could trade down to 2 smaller weapons.
yes, you can get smaller weapons, or you can sacrifice cargo space.
So what we'll be looking at: 2 medium ballistas or 2 small ballistas.
2 medium. Remember that small ballistas do no
Yeah.
hull damage.
Yeah, that's why that's why I asked. So we could get
Yeah.
2 medium. We should go for 2 medium.
The problem is we only have. We could get another person to operate the second one, but I think we're better off just getting the one big
You know what?
weapon.
You know what?
You
We
don't
still have a
understand.
bunch of gems left we can sell if we need more money later. Let's
You
just
don't
start-
understand. 2 medium means we can have a stinger weapon, so we can defend ourselves from the rear, and the same people can go to the front weapon and the rear weapon if they're next to each other. Or we can get an extra person and have both manned.
What's the
All right.
difference?
Actually-
What's the difference between 2 medium and 1 big one?
Yeah.
All right.
Just, in terms of damage and stuff.
Hull damage for a heavy ballista is 3 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So 1d4 plus 2. Damage for a medium ballista is 1 to 3. That's hull damage.
Quite the difference. That's
Personal
quite a lot.
damage is for a heavy ballista is 3d10, and personal damage for a medium ballista is 3d6. Rate of fire for a heavy ballista is 1 every 4 rounds. Medium is 1 every 3 rounds. Now, the medium ballista does have better THAC0.
We should go with the
I'd
medium.
go for what's the range on those 2?
By the book, range of 2 for the heavy ballista, 4 for the medium ballista, but I'm going with 6 for everything for now as a test. Because if you do the math, just, basically, calculate out damage per second sort of thing, light catapults beat everything.
And you don't want that.
Right. And I'm hoping that this makes it a little bit more even. So
How
I'm
much for
getting
the 2?
Yeah, the only reason we're considering ballista at the moment is because our guy is.
well, right.
proficient
But
in
my
ballista.
point is that the lighter stuff is like calculate out the damage per second, so to speak. Ignoring the light ballista because it does no hull damage. Lighter stuff is always better.
So I guess we can get the medium ballista, 2 medium ballista then.
All right.
Okay.
2 of those would be
How much-
600 each
So that's 1,200.
versus 800 for a heavy.
Yeah, okay, that's a little bit more doable.
What's the difference between the ammo though? Is
Same
one
ammo.
more-
It's the exact same ammo. That's one of the advantages of ballista.
Okay.
The damage is from the ballista itself, not the ammo.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Okay,
believe
what does the ammo
ballista
cost?
bolt.
It's pretty cheap. I'll get to that
And
in a
how
second.
much space does it take?
Sort of negligible, but not entirely.
Because sorry.
That essentially is not even a big dent into the money, into the gold we have at the moment.
9 space.
That doesn't even use the gold, not to mention the platinum stuff we have.
All right, so we're going to do the 2 ballistas.
Now, given the nature of the Wasp, if you can replace the heavy ballista with a medium and get the same forward, port, starboard firing arcs, but if you want a backfiring ballista, it's only going to have an aft firing arc, not
That's
fine.
aft,
Yeah.
port, starboard.
That's fine
Okay.
then, cause
That's
then
fine.
we only need 1 person to man them both. Technically.
You?
No, you need,
We only need-
it's 2 crew for medium, 4 crew for a heavy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Now-
guess we just have like 1 man, 1.
Yeah, I mean the
leader
same crew can move from one to another.
Yeah, because since
Same round?
only
No, they'd spend a round
they
moving
would
to
spend
the
around
other.
to get there, but the idea is like if we time it right, we can have them fire the first medium ballista, and then if we move it to the afterwards,
No.
we can easily one
You
round
can't.
move
You can't. I mean,
and have it already loaded.
you can. If you anticipate combat, you can get them both loaded, sort of thing. But you can't run around with weapons ready to fire all the time. That would destroy them.
Yeah,
It's like
How
you
long
can't
does
run.
it
kinda
take
figured.
to load a ballista?
It's
It's
kind
the
of like
same rate of
having a
fire.
bowstring drawn all the time.
Yeah, or a crossbow
Yeah.
cocked all the time.
I
Yeah.
didn't understand what you said, Old.
It's the same as the rate of fire.
Okay.
I
It's
think
3 rounds.
essentially,
I still think Higgimus should. Higgimus, as the logical person who knows the most about these things, as a Giff, and where it comes from, should actually be the one who takes the decision.
Mhm.
Well, considering that the two mediums, the back medium won't be able to fire on the left and the right one at the same time. I don't know. I was also looking. We still have a lot of gems too we can use. I mean, we really haven't even tapped the money we have yet. I was just kind of looking at the gold pieces.
And you could sacrifice 2 tons of cargo space for an extra medium ballista, in
But
addition to the standard heavy.
That's where we put all of our loot that we take from people.
I'm just pointing
The
it out.
1,000
I mean,
short swords.
I whisper to you. I keep that away from the paladin.
7
Hmm.
7
So
tons.
you can sacrifice cargo space for an extra weapon.
Okay, standard
Let's just-
spell damage. Standard.
Well,
spell
okay.
damage.
How about this? How about this?
Food do you normally need?
Think about it in between sessions, because right now we're not really getting anywhere, and it's dragging on, and it's 4:30 already.
I'm gonna do the
yeah.
turret. That's what we're gonna do.
We're
Okay,
gonna do-
heavy in
we
turret.
wanna-
Heavy turret.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's 1,800.
Okay.
We can just sell more gems, yeah? There is
Yeah, if we need to. Yeah.
So we can more or less split the rest.
Okay.
Maybe
Now
not clear
for
on all that
ammo, how much is the ammo? All.
It'll come with 10
Okay, that's plenty for right now.
by default. But I think they're like 5 silver Well, it would be double that. No. Ammo on Brawl would be pretty common. I mean, that's pretty crucial. So I would just go with the standard price in the book. So it's 5 silver pieces each, I believe. If you want more.
Yeah, we
I
can do
think-
it between games.
how much space would we need to take?
It
to fill
depends
up,
on
like,
how
one-
much you want, but I mean, if you're just talking about for ballista bolts, if you're just talking about like getting an extra 10, I wouldn't count that into your space. It would be a lot more.
How much would we need to actually start counting? Is what I want
I don't
to
know.
Okay, so we're gonna have.
1,000.
It's not detailed,
guys.
and I mean, you're
I say we
talking
get
you're
20.
talking essentially spears. You can put spears in a barrel. So I'm not too concerned about ammo for ballista.
Okay,
Okay,
I did
okay.
buy 10 more.
All right, so 20. That's fine.
Food.
All right. Let's see.
I think we could
Basically,
probably handle
supplies.
some of that between games as well.
Well, I do want to talk about this a bit so that everyone is familiar with what it takes. Number 1, you can spend 100 gold pieces to take along spare lumber to repair 1 whole point of damage.
How much space does that take?
And you can get 5 whole points worth of lumber into a ton.
Yeah,
Of
we
cargo
need to
space.
do that.
So
Mhm.
500. And that leaves us with 8 tons left.
All right. For provisions, it's 500 gold pieces for what amounts to 2,400 man-days worth of provisions, food, water, etc., etc. That works out to something like 8 months for 10 men.
Okay.
But the way it'll work
minimum
is that
crew.
basically you'll have the amount 2,400, and then you'll just tick off, by day how much you use.
So we only require a minimum crew of 8 to run the ship.
That
assuming
does
we're
not
gonna
include
also-
that
the
does not include
ballista crew.
weapon teams.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And for a heavy ballista, we need 4 people, right? Including the leader.
Yeah, and that
So that
also
means we need
you'll also. I mean,
3x.
there's no reason not to fill up the ship to its maximum. Keep in mind, Higgimus counts as 2 for purposes of air and everything like that.
That means every Giff counts as 2, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
But does every Giff also count as 2 people, let's say, in manning the ballista?
No. Nor does it count as 2 towards the minimum on a ship like this. Only on ships specifically designed for certain races does it work that way. But in terms of air use and food and provision use, large creatures count as 2.
I vote we don't take too many Giffs.
We can't. We're at 7
thinking-
as our group as a total complement.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind also that the ship, a standard ship, the Wasp has enough air to be clean for 4 months with 18 humans. So, as long as you're not anticipating going that far, you'll be okay. And I'm getting some extraneous audio somewhere.
From James.
James, do you mind muting yourself?
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. So, I mean, you can get more provisions if you want, but that 500 gold is 1 ton worth.
Okay, so that leaves us with a 7 tons worth of space.
Have we got like sleeping quarters and all that, or?
We can figure that out later.
Sleeping quarters is not. Cargo is I believe when they calculate the cargo space is basically your cargo hold room.
Yeah, but it's also. I mean, I'm not gonna like micromanage where you're putting your spare, all of your stuff. If the game says that you've got 8 tons, 9 tons of cargo space, as long as you're saying it's all in the cargo hold and the specific cargo space, then it's fine.
Bit like on Baldur's Gate when you got like 20 suits of plate mail armor in your backpack.
Exactly. Now, in terms of crew, standard is to pay them 2 months in advance. And crew on Brawl, for green crew, i.e. people who've never sailed before in their lives, it's 12 gold pieces each per month. For average crew, which means you have no penalties or bonuses whatsoever, it's 24 gold pieces per month. And for trained crew who get bonuses, it's 36 gold pieces per month. In addition, it's 36 gold pieces per month for a weapon specialist.
One question:
What we
is this
need.
for the whole crew, or is this per person?
That's per person.
Per person. What do we actually need? What's absolutely necessary?
There's
Well,
2
the
numbers.
maximum is 18 people.
All right, hold on a second.
So what I asked, who is absolutely necessary? Do we need a weapons expert?
The ship requires. Hold on. The ship requires minimum 8 people. That would mean that if all of you are doing the standard sailing maneuvers, i.e. handling the rigging and everything like that, and this includes the helmsman, then you would need an extra 2.
Mm-hmm.
If you then also want to have people to man the weapon during battle and not suffer any issues with maneuverability, you need an extra 4.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, if you want to man the weapons and have just enough crew to run the ship, including all of you doing all the tasks necessary, meaning that if you leave the ship, they can't fly it. You need 6 crew members.
Okay.
But all
that
said
would
it would
only-
be best to max
Good
it out.
to know. And that's that does there. It doesn't with those 6 crew members. It doesn't matter whether they are newbies or sort of medium experience or really experienced.
Well, I mean,
I was thinking of we have one really experienced guy.
I was actually asking Old.
yeah. So if they're green, there's an initiative penalty and a morale penalty. If they're average, there's nothing. If they're crack, i.e., trained crew, there's an initiative bonus and a morale bonus.
I was thinking we have basically one guy who's one really good guy.
You don't get
And
the
he's, like,
you don't
the
get the
leader.
bonus. You can keep the bonus if you lose trained crew and replace them up to a certain point, but you only get the bonus if you start out with everyone at a certain amount, certain skill level.
Is there an advantage to starting off? Let's say we build a crew and we say the minimum crew we need, we will make out of experienced people, and anything that's more than the minimum crew, we go with inexperienced people.
I would treat that as the inexperienced.
You're handicapped.
Yeah.
No, just said it rounds down to the lowest level.
Well, no,
so,
it's so when you start out.
Yeah.
You start out as the worst of your crew.
Yeah.
So
As they
doesn't-
go,
wait,
well, as they go, with time spent on the ship, green crew becomes average, average becomes trained, and then trained becomes crack, which are even better, but that's specific to the ship itself. So you could train people up. You can start out by paying them cheap, and then as they, become better, they will expect more money as well. But you can start out cheap and train them up, essentially. If you have... hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
If you have a full crew and they're average and you lose some and you replace them with green, as long as you don't go below a certain amount and you have the original crew members, then they will still count as average.
So to echo back, let's say if we started off with 18 crew and one of them was a green and the others was, let's say, average, we would start off as green.
Yes.
What so that it doesn't make a difference to have, like, I got a question. If you have, like, one really experienced guy and then the rest, like, medium experienced guy, would that, like, speed up the process of some of them getting better? No?
No.
Okay.
I say we just get medium crew, or the average crew level, and fill us up to the crew max.
One question, is any of them going to be Giff?
Well, let's see. We don't know yet.
Well, to make it easy, this is just going to be standard sailors, and they're going to be basically humans. Humans are by far the most common. If you want to get one less crew member and hire a Giff, or 2 less crew members and hire 2 Giff, that would be different.
That's why I was asking, because Higgimus did that whole scene.
Yeah, but Giff also would be, they'll do some sailing in a pinch, but they're primarily for boarding and defense and weapons.
And just because he asked doesn't actually mean that he is.
Yeah, I know.
He has to take them.
The only reason why I was asking is because I thought it might be good to have another person that was proficient in the ballista.
You could certainly get a Giff weapon expert.
Other than just have me the entire time, so in case I'm not there or something happens to me, you have another person that's decent with the ballista. Plus, if it's another Giff, That's another donkey that you can carry around.
Well, generally, the crew is, other than boarding actions, the crew's going to stay with the ship. So in other
Well,
words,
for
if
role
you
play purposes, as far as like
Yeah.
hauling bounty over from another ship, they'll be able to help out.
but if you like land on an asteroid and go attack a fortress or something like that, you'll probably want to leave your crew there on the ship to defend it or something like that.
Yep.
I vote that we go with the maximum crew so they can steer the ship while we are away. Because if we are somewhere, let's say on an asteroid or somewhere else,
So
and
that-
we need to direct the ship to us, then it's better there's somebody there. Well, there are enough people there who can actually fly the ship.
Well, that's not including a spare helmsman who's an NPC. So these are just
we
sailors.
will need.
If you want a
Mhm.
spare
The thing is,
helmsman, then you need to go
we need
hire.
a
You need to go hire a priest or a wizard.
Oh,
Thing
how-
is, we
Yeah.
need at least
how
two more
those?
people for a proper rotation of helmsmen.
I can go figure that out, but it's if you're talking about a level 1 spellcaster, they're
Actually, no, we need one more helmsman. I forgot Lafdul the
Let,
spellcaster.
let old finish.
yes, thank you. It would be, spare helmsmen who are level 1, not that costly. I'd have to go back and look to see what the amounts are.
So
We could ask Bellarina. Sorry.
You could, but she's also level 3.
Okay. So the crew themselves, they can't learn to be helmsmen.
Right, they're just
Correct.
sailors. They have no magical ability.
Correct. Okay.
Here's my suggestion: we have a helmsman, an extra one, because we'll want somebody that can fly the ship when we're not there. A weapons person who can shoot the gun without me being there, or direct people, and then the rest of them we fill up to whatever our max crew is and regular average Joes.
The only thing is, I want to know is, do you want
James.
the extra guy to be a gift?
The
Extra
weapon,
weapon.
the weapon guy can be a Giff. I think that's what he was getting at.
I would ask that you get 2 helmsmen.
Yeah.
That might be a better idea. Yes.
If
Okay.
you look at what we were doing in our first mission, we had 2 helmsmen and everyone else taking 1 shift in between. And if you don't have 2 helmsmen, you're going to
We need-
have all the spellcasters taking shifts on the helm to keep it going, and then no one's going to have any spells.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we at the level yet where we could take an apprentice?
You can take an apprentice at any level if you look for it, but you would certainly not be considered archmages by other archmages.
Would we
It'd be
be?
scandalous for the apprentice.
I'm
So,
sorry.
oh, you
I don't know about scandalous, but the lower level you are, the harder it would be to find an apprentice.
Okay.
You could possibly. What about the apprentice we rescued? You could
Norfair.
possibly take on. Yeah.
If you want to
There
go
is
ask him or even I can't remember his name right now. I'd have to go back and look it up. Aranis' apprentice to see if one of them wanted to sign on board. You absolutely could do that.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Aranis would have
Beloriana.
to
You could
approve,
ask her,
so-
but
Yeah.
none of them are level 1, so they will all be a little bit more than just a level 1 body to run it at spelljamming speed.
Yeah. No, that's cool. The other thing I was thinking is if you're going to take on someone specifically as a helmsman and we're adventuring, we're picking up scrolls, and you guys are learning spells, and then if more than one of you can learn it, you can pass it on. You can make that part of the deal that they will have some access to spell books and stuff.
Oh, or
And
if they're an actual apprentice, they would have access to your spellbooks essentially.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's up to Leva.
But
All right,
I
so
mean,
two helmsmen.
Yeah, we can figure that out later.
Yeah.
So you got 6, the weapon specialist, and 2 helmsmen. So that's 9. So you're looking at 9 average crew members. So that's going to come out to.
Wait, it's
Don't I take up 2
minus,
spots?
Yeah,
Well, you take up for the purposes of air and water, and you could and that's the other thing is, I mean, you can hire more people if you want. If you want to overcrew this thing, you can. It just cuts down your range.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Okay, we make it so we can have the maximum range. So that means we have. So you said
minimum
how
crew
many?
then.
But the minimum crew means gifts still count as 1 for that.
Yeah. What I mean is for the maximum crew, we actually have 2 less than the maximum crew if we have 2 gifts.
Right,
We
but
have
that also
16
means
people
that
total.
you have less of a margin if you lose people to during battle.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll be fine.
Basically, any hit on the ship that indicates a crew loss is going to kill one of the crew. I mean, other than you guys and the weapon expert and the helmsmen, if it rolls up a crew casualty, a crew member is dead.
Oh.
That's sad, but okay. Let's go ahead and do the full crew complement. We'll be
All right.
fine. If things get too bad, we could have that fog spell thing.
That was Zamfir.
Oh,
The other thing,
Leva can cast fog too, I think.
She doesn't have it. She could get it.
Never. Yeah.
All
there
right,
is.
so go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the other thing we could do with respect to crew, if we get hired for a specific mission where we want to attack a place, we can take on extra people on a temporary basis just for that mission. And,
Yes,
and
that
like
is
Paul said,
possible.
we can overcrew the ship, and we do that for a short period of time, and then we say goodbye to them. So we could take on gift mercenaries for something like that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot easier to buy extra food than it is to. You can't buy extra air.
Yeah.
But having spells to replenish the air envelope would make that a lot easier. So I mean, air is the big limiting factor, or more of a limiting factor than food, because you can just overstock your stores, provided that nothing bad
Isn't
happens.
it?
Yeah,
along the way.
we still have 7 tons of space as well for cargo. So
Isn't there one of the CGR1 races that can?
Yep,
Okay,
Herwady.
Yeah.
You can get
Yeah,
you
so
can
we-
get a wiggle crew member. And that's the other thing. I
Yeah.
mean, if you guys want something other than humans, we can talk about that. Prices generally are going to be the same. I might bump it up a little bit if it's if you're talking about Herwady or something like that. But elves, dwarves, halflings, gnomes, etc., they're going to be the same price.
I was thinking of a mix of people, not just humans. But really, I don't really care that
Yeah,
much.
the thing that I want to avoid is too many special characters on the crew that require additional work during combat situations.
Yeah,
Which is
no,
why,
no,
in general, the crew you get are all going to be 0-level humans with the same, leather armor and simple weapons.
unless we outfit them with better stuff. But
Well, I mean, sailors are not going to have heavy armor. So the best you're going to get is
they
leather
can
armor.
have
and everything.
studded leather armor. I don't know if there's any
No,
other light armor.
I'm sticking to leather armor because of simplicity, and studded leather is significantly heavier and bulkier than leather. It is.
It's only 1 AC difference.
Right,
I
but
don't
it's
think it
still a big difference in. I mean, just go look at the thief skill modifiers.
Yeah, I know. It affects me.
Anyway,
too, right?
so unless you guys want something else, they're going to be human. If you want something else for some of the crew, think about that in between. I mean, we can just add on some cash, some extra cost. But for now, average crew 2 months. That's going to be for 9 of them is going to be 432 gold.
That's okay.
How much?
To
Sorry.
start off with, that's like
432 gold.
one. That's one sapphire.
Yeah, but we don't have unlimited sapphires.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Well, that's for 2
That-
months.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's for the first 2 months, and then we.
And then
That's
you pay
plenty
a
of time to
monthly
go
afterwards.
kill some wizard and steal all of his stuff.
You say
I mean,
Oh.
rescue a wizard and get a reward.
If we do that, we'll have to leave the paladin at home. If we just go out and kill him.
No, just look for the
Depends.
evil wizards. Just look for the evil wizards.
Yeah,
All right.
stick to the evil necromancers.
All right.
just
So
label them evil.
what I want you guys to think about. I mean, this is good enough for now. In between sessions, think about what your character wants to do while the ship is finishing. Talk to me personally if there's anything specific. I mean, like especially if you're going to be doing something that requires, that would get a wage or would require cost like spell research.
Can I talk to you later about doing something with my shell stuff since we can get to it?
Yes. Yes. And we'll go over that in between
We're
episodes.
we're
as well.
totally
Yeah,
not going to
that's
talk for
how-
like another 12 hours afterwards, anyway.
Well, yeah, but
I feel like that should be done maybe like not with all the other players around, anyways.
it's fine. Doesn't matter. All right. So, experience-wise, everyone is going to get 200 experience points.
Wow, didn't think we'd get anything.
Really? Yeah, I didn't think I'd get anything.
Treasure and the room.
Well, it's not for treasure, but it's for actually finishing up everything. Oh, also, we could role play this out, but I'm lazy and we're finishing up. You'll get a 300 gold piece reward from the magistrate.
For each of
300.
us or
300.
together?
That's group.
That's
Okay.
the group.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
How much
leveled.
experience was it?
200 each.
200.
In addition, Leva, Ockar, and Higgimus get 50 XP each.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Cool.
Or what was that for?
Role-playing situations.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Any last business that people want to take care of?
I leveled.
Really?
Yeah, just
Well-
barely.
Guess we're gonna take care of that in between after this.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I'm not that far off my thief, actually.
Only to say hello against Shark Belly, who's not caught up yet.
all right. Well,
Totally shout out in.
thank you all for watching. Thank you all for playing, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for the game.